Hi, I'm Dennis Gage, and welcome to My Classic Car. Well, this week we're in Woodland Park, Colorado for Cruise Above the Clouds. This is a beautiful place, and at about 8,500 feet elevation, it's also the highest show we've ever shot. And if that's not enough, there's a poker run today up to Cripple Creek, about another 500-foot elevation gain, and the show carries on there tomorrow. I'm telling you, Pike's Peak over there, very little oxygen right here. I'm a little bit lightheaded, but I think it's all the cool cars. Check some of these out. Hey Phil, how you doing, man?
Good seeing you, good seeing you.
What a beautiful place for a show. 8,500 feet though, I mean this is way up here.
Yeah, you Flatlanders are going to have trouble breathing up here. There is no oxygen.
Well, that's why you call it Cruise Above the Clouds.
That's correct.
I mean, that's Pike's Peak right there, right?
That is, 14,110 feet.
And all rock, you know?
And it's all rock, big chunk of granite.
But what a great show, man. And it's not just here in Woodland Park. Then from here, what, a poker run up to Cripple Creek?
And that's at 9,000 feet.
At 9,000.
So you're having trouble with dizziness here. Wait till we get up to Cripple Creek. But this is a special event, and you know it's a pleasure for us to put it on.
Then it picks up again tomorrow, right?
Picks up tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah, we do
Tonight.
a sunset show from 6 to 8 with
Yeah.
a whole nother set of trophies from Cripple Creek. And they have a street dance and beer gardens and live entertainment. And this is going to carry on till 10 o'clock tonight. And then at 9 o'clock tomorrow, we start all over again.
So don't party too hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And it runs till, you know, like
noon tomorrow. And gives people plenty of opportunity to drive home. We have people that drove a long distance.
Yeah, and the Cripple Creek thing's right downtown in kind of historic Cripple Creek.
Correct. Cripple Creek is old gold mining town from the 1800s, and you and I flew over one of the mines the other day. But it's fun, and it's now a limited stakes gaming town. And so you'll have a chance to leave a few dollars up in Cripple Creek tonight, but it is a great place to go to, and you're going to experience that here after a while.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. Well, hey, you know, you got a lot of work to do, I got a lot of work to do. Let's have a little bit of fun before we get serious. Look at a few cars.
Rock it on.
All right, man. Well, Troy, this is a sweet little number here. This is a Jeep FC, forward control, right?
Forward control, 150.
150.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's such a funky vehicle.
It's odd.
And you've made it very, very much funkier, actually. I mean, I love what you've done with this. This has had so much work on it. And this thing does tricks, right?
It does.
Well, let's
it does.
do its trick, because I dig this. I saw it up earlier. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, bed lifts up.
That's pretty cool. Oh man, you've done it under here like to the nines too. So what all we got here? I mean, you've really got one short drive shaft.
It's short, yes. It's aluminum. It's original frame. Just
No
had
kidding.
to box it and hand fabricated the cross members.
You didn't scrimp anywhere. I mean, you really are. Attention to detail here is amazing. Oh, and it's, I didn't even notice this. That's what, polished stainless or?
Yes. Yep.
You really didn't scrimp. It is totally cool, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and in the interior too. I mean, these things were austere, really. I mean, basic, and you've turned this into a luxo-cruiser.
They were very basic. Yes.
Man, I mean, you've just done everything in here. It's gorgeous.
Well, thanks. It's
Nice.
got the ultimate leather.
Yeah,
interior.
yeah. That's good stuff. And yeah, I like the dash.
That was all hand built. Started
good.
with a 1/2-inch conduit, electric conduit.
And am I looking at a what, 350?
350, Chevy 350. Yes, sir.
Which you brought in from the bottom, I take it.
Yes. Yep.
I even like the your models. Those are chopped too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I had to chop those and had to have something to do in the wintertime.
So is that easier to chop or harder to chop?
That was a little bit easier.
I bet
bit
this was
easier.
tricky. Well, you still, even with a 4-inch chop, you still got a pretty big windshield. These must have been really tall.
They were. Yep.
Well, hey, you've got a great ride here, Troy.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
57 Jeep FC 150.
Yes.
Yowza. And then with a little treatment.
A little bit.
A little treatment.
Yeah.
Way cool.
A little added on.
Happy motoring. Well, George, this is a pretty little car. I've always been a fan of the second generation Corvair, and I guess that's correct. I mean, they're really kind of two generations.
That's correct.
Two different bodies.
That's correct.
And the first one only ran, what, 2 years? Or?
1960 through 64.
Oh, 60 through 64. I guess they did come on.
65 through 69
69 was this.
what you're referring to as the second.
Second gen. And boy, I think they're night and day different in appearance, because the first generation were actually kind of boxy, kind of you know. And then you got this car, and I think this is a beautiful car. I mean, the lines on this car are absolutely gorgeous, and people don't necessarily appreciate what a pretty car this is.
Correct. When you look at the front here, you can see some of the 66 Chevelle lines.
Oh, absolutely.
Right up in here.
And what you've done in the interior is killer, because you kept it really, really stock.
Correct.
I mean, that's the original gauge cluster too, really, but with updated gauges, right?
That's right. I got the VDO gauges in the original cluster.
And what an interesting shifter. You're giving yourself a little bit more knee room down there.
Right. And the original shifter was right up by my right leg, and I really didn't care for that, so I wanted to kind of change it as much as I could and move the shifter over to the center.
Oh, T-handle looks great too, man.
Yeah. So,
but great. Yeah, I mean, again, great lines. I love the rear quarter, and this back plate looks good. I like how you blacked it out. And now normally I'd say, well, let's go up front and have a look at the engine. Of course, in a Corvair, that's not where the engine is.
It's not going to work on this one.
But this is also a pretty special engine.
That's right.
Let's have a look.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's pretty over the top. So, what are we looking at? Is that the Rover Buick engine?
That is a Buick Rover. So parts of it are Rover, who ended up with it after GM sold it to British Leyland.
So it's like a 215, right? 215?
That's what it started out at. Now it's 300 cubic inch.
Wow. And it's
so
all
it's
aluminum,
board stroke. They're all aluminum. So it's board stroke, ported, polished, fuel injected. I got the base Land Rover intake manifold on it.
But then did you create this?
I fabricated my own air box with my velocity stacks on the inside.
Just looks awesome.
Try to give it the Enderley look a little bit whenever I install them.
So what does she put out for power?
It'll do 350 to the ground. So it'll put a smile on your face pretty quick.
And a song in your heart. Man, thanks for bringing this out.
Thank you very much,
This
Dennis.
is a great cruise above the clouds car.
Great.
Well, Joe, this is a very, very extreme ride. This is a 60 Plymouth Fury, right?
Right.
Really a wild body style. This was back in the Virgil Exner era.
It was the last Plymouth with the big fins that Exner designed.
And big they are.
They are the biggest ones any Plymouth.
Big they are.
Yes.
But so much of his designs, he was experimenting with all sorts of stuff. Very space-aged
Very much so.
And this shows it in a lot of ways. These two-door hardtops just had so much visibility, so much glass.
Very much. It can get a bit warm in there. Of course, back in those days, and this car in particular doesn't have air conditioning, so
oh wow, yeah,
we'd always drive with the windows down.
Yeah.
Sometimes even in the winter with the heat on.
Well, there's a lot of greenhouse effect here. But great instrument gauge. There was a name for that.
They call that the flight deck instrument panel.
Flight deck. And then the rectangular steering wheel.
The arrow steering wheel.
Arrow steering. And then you had the higher back
is the commander seat.
Commander seat, and then this was the passenger
seat, right. They're not true buckets, they're swivel seats.
So each one swivels out.
You're right.
And I do love the roof line. Again, she comes around, same with the fender well here, but man, these fins are just over the top.
Yeah, the official name were stabilizers.
These were stabilizers,
right?
Huh? Did they do anything?
Supposedly, Chrysler said they ran tests on crosswinds. They're supposed to be at 17% of the stability of the vehicle.
17%. That's
how
pretty,
they came up with that, I don't know.
Precise. They pulled it out of somewhere. We just won't say where.
That's a good number.
Now, this also came with a pretty special engine, didn't it?
Yes, it sure did.
Let's go look at that. Oh, now that is just one of the greatest looks upon opening an engine compartment you'll ever get.
It does attract attention.
Always a crowd pleaser, right?
Yes.
That's the dual quad cross ram manifold, right?
Right. It's Sonoramic Commando, the official name.
So what was it called?
Sonoramic Commando. Don't you like the names they had in those days?
Sonoramic Commando.
Yeah.
Sonoramic Commando.
Yeah.
Torque Flight transmission, probably.
Torque Flight.
Which is the best automatic ever made, probably.
It was a good one.
And this is hauling around a pretty heavy car.
Well, the official shipping weight was 3,600 pounds. But by the time you get the fluids in it and everything, and me, about 4,000.
4,000 pounds, man.
Yeah.
Well, close your back up, man. What a beautiful car. It is so extreme. People must just kind of gravitate to it at shows, right?
They do.
Well, Joe, you got a very cool car.
Thanks
a lot. 60 Fury?
60 Fury.
Furious. Well, Ken, this is a really sweet 32 Roadster. I mean, this baby just screams in a traditional way, though. I mean, it's not, you didn't get carried away. I mean, it's not like, you know, blinding colors and stuff. Nice fade flame job. But I don't know what I guess what it is for me is that it's almost a showcase for that engine.
That's basically what it is. I basically got the engine first and decided how can I use a flathead, and of course the 32 is just a no-brainer, so went with that, but basically wanted to show the engine and make the rest of the car just something to deliver the engine.
That is amazing. Nice job of melding those two, and again, to give that traditional look. And I love the fact that they're, you know, repopping the 32 body. It's just, you know.
Yes. Oh, that really makes it so much easier. They're hard to find.
Oh, yeah.
When you get them, they're full of bullet holes and rust and
tire and geek practice.
Yeah, you know, it's just if you can find them these days, it's getting
Well, there's
hard.
no metal fatigue in this. It's a great way to go.
Exactly, right. You don't have to worry about
also,
that.
you've done, you know, a modern front end.
Right. It's a Mustang 2 type front end.
But again, this engine.
It's the engine. That's the thing.
So you say is it a 49?
It's a 49 Ford truck engine.
Okay. But then you've got all these great offy parts, and are they aftermarket?
Some of them are aftermarket, and some are original.
And then, of course, I love your exhaust system. Can you uncork those headers?
Yes.
Do you do that sometimes?
Oh, every once in a while we'll do it when we're at a show that permit that sort of thing.
And I love your, you know, cozy interior, and then 32s you're right there with your...
That's right. Yeah, there's not a lot of room for extras space-wise in here.
But you got a manual transmission in here.
Right. That's a 5-speed Ford Mustang transmission.
Wow. Well, you know, that's half the fun of driving. Like
Exactly.
Shifting.
I wanted to do some shifting, and I wanted to be able to go on the highway. You know, with that 5th gear, you can really
tilt column,
Right.
and a, you know, fairly traditional dash layout.
Right. It's pretty traditional. It's got all the gauges I want. I mean, there's more than they were originally. I think they had a gas gauge and a speedometer.
Well, you know, and again, it's just a very traditional look, and you went kind of big littles with your tires, but not really with the wheels. They're both 15s, right? But
Right. The rims are 15-inch, and made the big little look just by putting this is about as big a tire as you can get on the back and small on the front.
Really cool. Now you're a Colorado Springs guy, right?
Right.
So this is almost a hometown show for you.
Just about.
So you've been to it before? And
oh yeah.
You must
I've been up
dig
here
it.
several times. I love this show. Wouldn't miss it.
Well, it's a cool show because it is a 2-day show, but it keeps moving and you don't get bored, and you know.
Right. Everything moves along.
And everywhere you look, it's beautiful.
Exactly. I mean, if you came just for the scenery, that would be enough.
And hey, there's cars.
There's cars. There's gambling. I mean, what else do you want?
Well, hey, Ken, you got a great 32. Alrighty. This is a beautiful car,
well,
man.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
bringing it
much.
out.
Appreciate it.
Joan, this is an absolutely beautiful truck. I saw it down in Woodland Park yesterday, and we didn't catch up with you, but we finally tracked you down here in Cripple Creek. I had to come a whole another 1,000 feet in elevation to find you.
Yes, you did.
But you know, it was worth the trip.
Oh, good.
Well, this, you know, and yesterday what caught my eye about this was I was looking at the registration. It's a 45 Ford.
Yes.
But they weren't building trucks in 45 because of the war.
That is correct. It is an Army truck off an Army base in Boise, Idaho.
So they didn't make too many of those, did they?
No, we've only found about 12
really? So
that are still in existence.
Pretty rare. I think what sucked me in though is I'm a sucker for green cars anyway, and this is really a beautiful paint scheme. You've got the light green and then the darker green with this kind of, I don't know, tan or cream pinstriping. It's just beautiful, and it is your truck, right?
Yes, it is.
So this is sort of your paint scheme.
It is.
It is. Well, then you've set it up for like comfortable cruising. It looks like to me.
It is.
It's what, tilt column?
It does have tilt wheel.
And you even have dog tags.
Those are my parents' dog tags from the 40s.
Wow. It just seems right,
It
doesn't it?
works with the truck.
It really does. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And bed's done beautifully too. Great oak, and your side rails are nice. I love this rear fender too. It's just so long and swept.
Has nice lines.
Yeah, and that little crease right across the top. Now this would have been powered by a flathead.
Yes, it would have been.
But that's probably not what you're running now.
That is
That's
not what
right.
is in there now.
Let's go look and see what you got.
Okay.
Oh my God! Now this is probably pretty heavy hood.
It's a very heavy
I
hood.
guess I'm not telling you anything. Wow, you know, I did not expect that actually. So that's a Chevy crate motor, right?
Yes, it is. Small block Chevy.
So how does she run? I mean, it's just
She runs really good.
really good.
She sounds really good too.
And do you drive it, fairly frequently?
Yeah, we drive it around town on the weekends and to car shows.
So you're from around here?
I am. I live in Colorado Springs, but I actually used to live in Cripple Creek.
Oh, well, then you have to come to this show.
I do have to come to this show.
Well, I'm sure you're glad you did. Beautiful truck, 1945 Ford Army truck, military truck.
That is correct.
Very rare. Thanks, Joan.
Thank you.
What a beauty. Oh man, Cruise Above the Clouds here in Woodland Park, Colorado is a fantastic show. The air might be a little thin, but the show is thick with really cool cars. You might want to check this one out.